Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a deep dive into something that's both personal and profoundly societal. What does it mean if a woman remains single for a long time? And more importantly, what are the implications of that? Now, first of all, let's get one thing straight. Being single is not a failure, it's not a defect, and it's certainly not an indication of some inherent inadequacy. Instead, it's often a byproduct of deeper structural, psychological, and even philosophical realities. Relationships today are more complex than ever before. In the past, societal structures largely dictated how and when people formed partnerships. Marriage was often based on necessity, economic security, social expectations, and the fundamental need for survival in a world where cooperation was crucial. Women, in particular, had fewer options outside of marriage, as their roles were traditionally tied to the home, family, and dependent relationships. However, as societies evolved and women gained more independence through education, career opportunities, and legal rights, the nature of relationships shifted dramatically. With these advancements came newfound freedom. Women were no longer required to rely on marriage as their primary means of security. Instead, they could establish their own financial stability, create their own social circles, and build meaningful lives independent of a romantic partner. This independence is a tremendous achievement, but it also introduces a paradox. When people have the ability to choose freely, they often become more selective. Women who are highly educated, financially secure, and deeply engaged in their personal growth tend to set high standards for potential partners, as they are not looking for someone to complete them, but rather someone who can complement their already fulfilling lives. This increase in selectivity is not an issue in itself. After all, high standards are often a reflection of self-respect. However, the modern dating landscape presents new challenges that complicate the process of forming meaningful connections. Social media and online dating have created an illusion of limitless options, leading to a culture of disposability where people are hesitant to invest deeply in relationships for fear that someone better might come along. The emphasis on instant gratification and superficial attraction can make it difficult to establish the kind of long-term bonds that require patience, compromise, and emotional investment. And additionally, modern gender dynamics play a significant role in shaping relationships. Traditional masculine and feminine roles have been redefined, leading to new expectations for both men and women. While equality is essential, it has also created confusion about how relationships should function. Many women seek partners who are strong, ambitious, and capable, yet also emotionally available and supportive. The challenge arises when these expectations seem contradictory or difficult to find in a single person. As a result, many women who remain single for long periods do so not because they lack options, but because they struggle to find someone who aligns with their values and aspirations in a world where relationships are no longer dictated by necessity, but by personal fulfillment and deep compatibility. Independence is often seen as one of the greatest achievements of modern life. For women especially, the ability to live independently, make personal choices, and pursue meaningful careers has been a significant step forward. Women today are more financially stable, highly educated, and capable of handling their responsibilities without relying on a partner. This shift has allowed them to create lives that are fulfilling on their own terms, free from the constraints that once forced them into relationships out of necessity rather than choice. However, human beings are not designed to exist in isolation. While independence is valuable, there is a fundamental need for connection, support, and shared experience. This is where the concept of interdependence comes into play. Interdependence is not about losing one's autonomy or becoming reliant on another person in a way that diminishes self-sufficiency. Instead, it is about recognizing that relationships at their best are built on mutual support, cooperation, and emotional fulfillment. A highly independent woman may find it difficult to transition into a relationship because she has built a life where she does not need anyone. She has routines, habits, and ways of thinking that do not easily accommodate another person. While independence gives her the power to make her own choices, it can also create barriers to emotional vulnerability and shared responsibility. The longer one operates independently, the harder it becomes to adjust to interdependence, which requires a willingness to share decisions, compromise, and integrate another person's needs into one's life. At the same time, interdependence does not mean sacrificing one's identity or success. A healthy relationship should not take away from personal growth, it should enhance it. The challenge many independent women face is finding a balance between maintaining their self-sufficiency while allowing themselves to rely on a partner in meaningful ways. This does not mean giving up independence, but rather understanding that relationships thrive on reciprocity. It means being open to receiving support, allowing space for emotional closeness, and understanding that true strength is not just about standing alone, but also about knowing when to lean on someone else. Ultimately, independence is a remarkable achievement, but it should not come at the cost of meaningful connection. The key is to develop a mindset where independence and interdependence coexist, where a woman remains strong and self-sufficient, while also embracing the depth and richness that comes from sharing her life with someone who values her strength rather than feeling threatened by it. A high-value woman is not defined by superficial traits such as looks, status, or material possessions, but by the depth of her character, mindset, and the way she carries herself in the world. She is a woman who has cultivated strength, intelligence, emotional depth, and self-respect. These psychological traits not only make her stand out, but also influence her approach to relationships and life. One of the key psychological traits of a high-value woman is self-awareness. She understands who she is, what she wants, and what she will and will not tolerate. She does not seek external validation to define her worth because she has already established her own sense of identity. This level of self-awareness allows her to make decisions based on her values rather than fleeting emotions or societal pressures. She is not desperate for a relationship, but seeks one that aligns with her personal growth and well-being. Another defining trait is emotional intelligence. A high-value woman is not reactive, she is reflective. She understands her emotions, manages them effectively, and communicates her needs without resorting to manipulation or emotional outbursts. She is also empathetic, recognizing the emotions and perspectives of others, which makes her a great partner, friend, and leader. This emotional stability allows her to navigate challenges in relationships with maturity rather than impulsiveness. Confidence is another fundamental trait. A high-value woman knows her worth and does not settle for less than she deserves. She does not chase people or beg for attention because she understands that true connection is built on mutual respect, not desperation. Her confidence is not arrogance, it is an inner assurance that comes from her competence, achievements, and self-respect. This makes her naturally attractive to those who appreciate strong, independent individuals. High-value women are also disciplined and purpose-driven. They do not drift through life aimlessly, waiting for someone to complete them. Instead, they set goals, pursue their passions, and take responsibility for their success. This sense of purpose gives their life meaning beyond relationships, ensuring that they never feel incomplete without a partner. Finally, they possess strong boundaries. A high-value woman does not tolerate toxic behavior, disrespect, or anything that drains her energy. She knows when to walk away from situations that do not serve her growth, and she is not afraid to say no when something does not align with her values. Ultimately, a high-value woman is one who has built a life of substance, integrity, and strength. She is not perfect, but she is constantly evolving, continuously learning, and unwavering in her self-worth. Biological and social expectations have always played a significant role in shaping human relationships, particularly when it comes to women and their choices regarding marriage, family, and long-term companions. While modern society has progressed significantly, allowing women greater freedom in their personal and professional lives, certain biological realities and deeply ingrained social norms continue to influence relationship dynamics. From a biological standpoint, human beings are wired for connection and reproduction. Women in particular have a biological clock that influences fertility, with peak reproductive years typically occurring in their 20s and early 30s. While advancements in medicine and reproductive technology have extended the possibility of having children later in life, the natural decline in fertility remains a reality. This biological factor can create pressure, especially for women who desire both career success and a family. Balancing these priorities can be challenging, and the longer a woman remains single, the more she may have to consciously plan her future if she wants children.